I'm Deb Cummings with UCalgary Alumni, and we're here today to tell you a little bit about a program called Mentor Link, which is offered through our career development area. And with thousands of students graduating this month, we thought it was an opportune time to tell you a little bit more about the program and how mentors and mentees sort of find each other through Mentor Link. A year ago, when Fred and Gord got together, neither of them had done anything like this. And so that's why we're catching up with them today, just to find out what they're doing.
My dad died when I was relatively young, I think about 32 or 33 or something like that. So, he was always there for me when I was growing up. He was really good to me. But then I lost him in kind of midlife. And, I didn't have in my business career anybody else that I could actually go to for advice on, issues. Something's come up at the office or something's come up in my personal life, and, what do I do about it? So, I didn't have the benefit of a mentor during my career.
For me, mentorship is having that relationship with someone where the end goal is not really defined, but you enjoy the process along the way, and you transfer skills either direction. The mentor gets a perspective of how a mentee thinks and people in his generation think, and then the mentee gets to understand what people have walked through this journey do it. How do they do it? What do they expect? Where did they fail? And where do they expect you to actually correct along the way? And I think it's a mentee mentorship program for me is an efficiency program.
Later in my career, I started to get phone calls from young people asking for advice, people that wanted to work in the financial industry, and I was happy to give it to them. So I signed up for the Mentor Link program at the University of Calgary, not knowing what kind of students I might get paired up with, if any, of course. It was actually a fairly short time when I got a call asking if I would meet with Fred. And so we did. We went for coffee. And of course, I never imagined that I'd be meeting with a guy from halfway around the world. And so, part of our discussion was, why are you here for heaven's sakes? The weather's getting chilly outside today. But he's come here for not only to advance his education, but, maybe hopefully for a better future for himself as well. And so good on him. I admire people that come from, leave home and family and come far away to come and live and work here. And from my standpoint, I get to meet a young man who's from a completely different background from my own. And we talk about what's life like back in Zimbabwe. And I'm learning lots about Africa and about the economy and the culture there. And so it's been, I'm learning as much from him as he's learning from me, maybe more.
One of the most important things that me and Gordon connected with is our finance background. I didn't understand much about the Canadian economy, and Gordon understood a lot about the Canadian economy. So coming from fundamentals, I was okay, but relating them back to the Canadian system is where Gordon was very, very important. So when we will talk about Canadian economy from an oil and gas perspective, talking about exports, talking about the currency, and sometimes we'll even delve into the politics of the country so that I could actually shape my conversation better when I was talking to professionals. It became very easy for me to text Gordon and say, what do you think someone at Nutrient would want from a banker like me in preparation for an interview?
I guess I didn't know what I was getting into when I signed up, because I was kind of afraid that a young person would come to me with a problem which maybe I had no solution for, if for no other reason than because we're 30 or 40 years apart in age. And yet, as we met, it turned out that it wasn't about solving problems. It was just about meeting and chatting and comparing experiences. And as I said earlier, it's as much value to me as it is to Fred.
As you've just heard, the relationship that Gord and Fred have established isn't probably typical or conventional of a lot of mentors and mentees, but it's enormously valuable. And both parties feel enriched by this connection, which is one of the salient points behind Mentor Link. Another cool aspect to this program is that it includes virtual video meetings, which means mentors and mentees can connect and meet anyone from anywhere on the planet.